Well, I'm Paula Penn-Nabrit, and I sort of envisioned this garden initially as therapy. My husband died in 2013, May 20th, and we had been married 36 years, 8 months, and 22 days. Rather than sort of bemoaning his death, we decided, we meaning my sons and my nephews and I, decided that we wanted to do something to really commemorate him. And so Charles had introduced me to organic gardening back when we had our eldest children, our twins. And when we had the twins, we had them the summer before my last year in law school, and I had breastfed them and I was weaning them and starting to buy baby food, and he said, sweetie pie, we don't know who's bottling that. And I was thinking, you're such a freak. Because in 1980, people really weren't talking about those kinds of issues. But he said, if you don't have time to garden, you probably don't have time to parent or pasture, which was sort of surprising to me. Charles was not a pastor, but his father and his grandfather were both pastors. And he said, it's the same principle. It requires daily attention to detail in the same posture of humility, head bowed, body bent.
I was really shocked.
There.
The remembrance of him, because he was such a great man, is important, but also the community theme around it is extremely important. We reach out to, this is I don't want to say necessarily an impoverished area, but it's a lower income area, and we help these people out with fresh produce and those kind of things that are typically unavailable to people who are on a limited budget. So it's been a blessing. It's somewhere that I can take my children and allow them to run around and to also see things.
Look how much onions I got.
Great, well, as you can see. So
Take a picture of these.
I see them. What kind of onions are those?
I don't know. Maybe a biscuit of.
Okay. All right. And it's an opportunity for my children to see things from seed, to see that you actually do reap what you sow, and to see that labor of love. And then the end result is to eat these fresh vegetables. I know exactly where they come from. I know what's been put into them, and I know what I'm feeding my children.
It's important for children to realize that a majority of good food for them is going to come from the earth. And organic food, albeit something that seems reserved for the wealthy or upper working class. No, it isn't. It should be something that's accessible to everybody. So this is an ideal community to have it in, because during the summer months the children wander in because they're curious, and they can get an on-the-spot lesson about this is how you grow a tomato, or this is what cabbages look like before they're big and round and on your table.
In the garden, I like to have it as a way to introduce people to a life skill that they may not have thought about, or that they may have thought about and been like, you know what, I'm not really super interested in that. What I like about the garden is we try and make it as easy for anybody to get involved as possible. I mean, I literally have volunteers that are 2, I have volunteers that are 91, and we find something for everybody to do here. What I like about this is it gives people the opportunity and the excuse to come someplace and really get a good view of what makes this particular neighborhood special. I'm a product of this neighborhood. A lot of other people around here are.
And this tastes like licorice.
Yeah, you just chew on it then.
And it tastes like
Biggest goals is obviously to make a space for people to learn about plants, about their environment and where their food comes from. So we're going to try and get a sturdier fence, and we're working with Landis Fencing to try and make that happen. That's always a big goal, and that is obviously not something cheap, and since it's not actual seed or dirt, it's a little hard to find funding for that. Similarly, we're trying to get a greenhouse put in so that we can extend our growing season. It would be fantastic if we lived someplace like Mississippi or Florida, where it was warm 9-10 months out of the year. Anybody who's been in Ohio anywhere between October and April knows that is not true. That is just not true. So this gives us a little more control over the elements, and hopefully we'll extend our growing season and our yield. And then our final goal this year is to really increase our collaboration with some of our other partner gardens that are working so that we can have a really robust farmers market this year, not just in terms of the variety, but making sure that we consistently have fresh produce and we're representing neighborhoods all over the city. So that's sort of our goals for 2016.
This space is organic and biodiverse, so we grow fruit, flowers, vegetables, and herbs, and we do not use any pesticides. Everything that we use to control weeds and insect pests are things that we create ourselves organically. We keep this as a clean space. The food that we produce, we sell once a week at a farmer's market and bake sale, and we sell all of the organic produce for $1 a pound. This zip code 43219 has been identified by USDA as low income, low access. So 33% of the households are at or below the poverty level, and the closest supermarkets are 4.3 miles away, and it is, believe it or not, Trader Joe's and Whole Foods. And beyond the distance, 13% of the population in this zip code doesn't have access to a car. So it's part of our mission is to create a space that increases affordable access to clean food, and so we've done that.